Okay, so if we're going to focus intermediate level language learners' attention on vocabulary, moving from common words like said, saw, looked, went, to more precise verbs, then you could use a picture book for that. Of course, you first would want to preview the book to make sure that it does have rich examples, accessible examples of strong verbs. Once you've previewed your book, think about a really good strategy for helping them activate a larger vocabulary in a safe context. For this, we developed a word bank, and in this word bank, we have provided examples of the various verbs that they might choose from for 3 pages in this book. Let me show you how that works. So in this example, the book begins with a little girl who's a bit upset about her inability to draw. The text states, "Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty." Oh, I've omitted some of the verbs on the next page. Vashti's teacher does something to this blank paper. "Ah, polar bear in a snowstorm." "Funny," said Vashti. "I just can't draw." So at this point, I would ask my language learners to help me think of different verbs that they might use to go here. And as they do, we would put them on the board. However, at the same time, I would have waiting for them the handout that I showed you previously, in which I would already have some options waiting for them. The teacher looked at the paper, saw the paper, touched the paper, or leaned over the paper. After students cast their vote on which of those verbs they would use if they were the author, we would reveal what the author actually did use, and of course discuss how the other options could also have worked to provide a slightly different effect. Intrigued, the students and the teacher, we would go on and do a similar process for at least 2 more of the pages in the book. So to summarize, I would like to suggest that by using a picture book like this, you can engage the students in a very simple task of examining how verbs function to portray more than just a simple statement, but rather to enrich the text. So as a follow-up to the teacher-guided portion of an activity like this, of course the students need to have the task to do something independently or in pairs. One obvious example of that would be to have each of them read the book in pairs together, identifying each of the verbs and drawing up a list of alternative examples that could have been used, and then voting for the one that they think would be best, whether it's their choice or the author's choice. They could be given the option to use a thesaurus and stay within English, or they could use their native language and a bilingual dictionary to amplify their vocabulary in English. I hope this clarifies an example of how one might modify a very typical writing activity that is often used with native language speakers for second language learners. Thank you.